It's late March, and signs of spring are everywhere. In western Washington, cherry blossoms are in full bloom, bathing the place we call home in vivid shades of pink. Meanwhile, 1,500 miles south, the deserts of the American Southwest are undergoing their own transformation. Here, the usual palette of browns and reds is briefly joined by yellows, whites, and purples from a wildflower superbloom. For Christine and I, this is the sign we've been waiting for, so we load up the truck and point it south, seeking to satisfy our craving for adventure. This year, it is our intention to explore the state of Arizona, a place where the desert's beauty and vastness is matched only by its unforgiving nature. And with summer temps routinely surpassing 110 degrees, early spring presents the perfect window for an overland trip to this part of the country. And so after meeting up with our favorite adventure crew in Las Vegas, we set off on a 2-week trip into the backcountry. And as we would soon find out, what Arizona had in store for us was well beyond even our wildest expectations.
My map is showing some petroglyphs up ahead. I vote we stop and check them out.
All right, so we just pulled off of the trail and we're checking out some petroglyphs, which happen to be just behind me.
These petroglyphs, estimated to be somewhere between 700 and 2,000 years old, were the first evidence of rock art we had seen in this area, and wouldn't be the last. After a brief stop to check them out, we were back on the trail and headed towards a spot I had marked as a possible campsite for the night. Oh, and if you're wondering why we're in Nevada and not Arizona, it's because when I was route planning for this trip, I stumbled across a national monument I didn't know existed. Its name? Gold Butte. Formed just a few years ago in 2016, it spans 300,000 acres of remote and rugged desert landscape. And after seeing pictures of its alien-looking red sandstone rock formations, slot canyons, and petroglyphs, we decided to make it a stop on our way between Las Vegas and northern Arizona. Well, we've arrived at our campsite for night one, and after 1,100 miles of highway driving to get here, it feels so good to finally get off pavement, hit first dirt, and find a spot to camp. And there is no one here. We are in Gold Butte National Monument at a spot known as Little Finland, and it is spectacular. The light coming off of these red rocks behind me and the clouds moving overhead, there is so much to look at. It's just amazing. And there is no one at all here. And I think we might have been helped by the fact that, well, one, it's Easter Sunday. That's probably the main reason nobody's here. But also it rained heavily yesterday. And so the road to get out here runs through a wash, and it's a little bit soupy, but thankfully I think it has dried out just enough. It wasn't too bad. So anyway, we've got this whole place to ourselves. We got here at like 1 o'clock, which was great. And that was kind of by design. Being the first camp night of this trip, we wanted to just get to camp early, set up, hang out, relax. Everybody's got to kind of get back into the rhythm of setting up camp and all of that. So we're just kind of lazily setting up camp. And then behind me here is this little mesa, and this is kind of the Little Finland area, and there's a hiking trail up there. And so I think the next thing to do is going to be to get up on top of that mesa and check out some of these crazy rock formations that we can see from down here. But I'm really curious to see what they look like from up there. What do you think about this?
I think it's pretty cool. I love how close this is to camp and just how beautiful the red rock is. There's lots of little swirls and different textures, and it's just, I love the desert. This is, yeah, it's mind-blowing. I love it here.
And it's so cool up here, all these little rock formations that just, I don't even know how to describe them, but they're super cool. I don't know, are they called fins? Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me if these are fins, and that's how this place got its name of Little Finland. I also heard that it's also known as the Hobgoblins Playground. No, I don't know why, but it's really cool on top of this mesa, and it just goes, and there's so much to see. Man, it's so cool to explore around this campsite. All right, so dinner for night one is fish in Veracruz sauce, which is something that we have been eating at home like twice a week. We're kind of obsessed with it right now. So there's a little bit of cauliflower rice, there's onions, there's garlic, there's peppers, there's some fire roasted tomatoes, bay leaf, olive, capers. There's a ton of stuff in here. And then you just kind of throw some fish in. We've got cod in there, and just kind of put the sauce on top, cover it, and let it sit for probably about 15 minutes or until whenever the fish is done. And that's about it. So it's the perfect meal for a scottle, and this is gonna be a great dinner to start the trip. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna turn out really well on the scottle. Fingers crossed.
First bite. The fish is super flaky. The peppers Give it a nice bite. And I like the olives in here.
I'd say it turned out just about as well on the scuttle as it does at home. As the sun sank on our first day, spirits were high. All of us just happy to be here in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, with our favorite people. And as sunset approached, it became quickly apparent how Gold Butte got its name. Good morning. This place is spectacular, honestly. Not at all what I envisioned when I think of the Nevada desert in my head. This is just, it's got shades of Utah with the red rock, it's got shades of Arizona, but it's unique. This is its own thing. And between the red rock and the sagebrush and the snow-capped mountains in the back, it's just amazing. And there's nobody here. And I think that's part of the beauty of the national monuments, is that they're just as spectacular as the national parks oftentimes, but there's just a fraction of the people. And to be able to come out here and disperse camp and enjoy it in this way and drive off-road this is something really cool. So that's a heck of a start for our trip. Night 1 of camping in the books. So I think in the next couple of minutes here, we're just gonna start breaking down camp kind of lazily, and then hit the trail. And our first stop today is one that I'm really excited for. It's a slot canyon, and there's supposed to be some pictographs inside the slot canyon, and it just looks beautiful from the research I've done. So it's not too far from here, but we'll get a little more time on the trail, explore that, and see what else Gold Butte National Monument has to offer today before we have to head on out and head further north and find a spot to set up camp for night 2.
Ledge up here, so just a heads up.
Did you lose the road?
I did.
Tire tracks here. Not the first people to go through it. It's a little bit of a choose your own adventure situation.
Looks like there's a wild burro on our right over there.
All right, well, we just made it to the 7 Keyholes Slot Canyon trailhead, so we're just hiking to the slot canyons themselves, and I've been looking forward to this for months, really, since researching this slot canyon. There's supposed to be a ton of petroglyphs inside, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like in there. Well, only a few feet in, but already some petroglyphs. Pretty cool. And the first keyhole is right here. This is why it's called the 7 keyholes. Apparently there's 7 of these. So we'll see what it looks like further in. What'd you find up there?
I found some really cool, very intricate petroglyphs, and they're very well preserved.
Well, let's see. Well, you heard me say earlier that I was looking forward to the 7 Keyholes Slot Canyon hike, and I gotta say, it did not disappoint. This place is amazing. The red rock and the keyholes like you see behind me and the petroglyphs. If you're in this area, this should be a must stop. This place is incredible. Well, we just hit the main road in Gold Butte National Monument. We're working our way back out to head north and find camp for tonight. But what did you think of Gold Butte National Monument?
I thought it was great. I loved just being right in the red rock and seeing all the different layers and colors, and just the views were awesome.
Yeah, it's super beautiful out here. Like, you don't really know where to look because there's so many layers and there's so many things going on. And I guess just speaking to the accessibility of it, we're on the main road, as I mentioned right now. The main road takes you out to Whitney Pocket, which is probably the most popular area in the park, I think. And there's a lot of people out there, lots of RVs and campers and people setting up base camps. But once we got beyond Whitney Pocket, there was nobody. We didn't have anybody at our campsite with us other than a couple side-by-sides and dirt bikes that came by. But yeah, pretty much had the whole place to ourselves. So it's a great place to come out and explore and not run into a whole lot of people.
Yep.
So there's definitely a lot we didn't see, but we have to push north. And so we'll just put it on our list to come back and check out again later.
Yeah.
So it looks like we got about another 10 miles or so on this highway, and then we're going to hit the Arizona border, and then shortly after that we're going to jump off. I found a little BLM land that goes into a wilderness area, and I'm hoping I'll be able to find a spot to call home for the night up there.
What a cool area this is. It's amazing how sometimes the best campsites you come across are the ones that you don't plan for. And that was totally the case with this one here, because we just spent so much time in Gold Butte National Monument this morning, hiking and exploring, more time than we were expecting. And by the time we got out of there, it was already the middle of the afternoon and we needed to make some miles north. So we did that. We just crossed into Arizona and I found this little trail that wound its way up into these mountains. And this mountainous area that we're in right now is spectacular. This is called, I believe, the Beaver Dam Mountains Wilderness. And it's just such a cool landscape. There are Joshua trees, there are cactus, it's super green up here, and there's just mountains like 360 degrees all around us. And our campsite is just tucked right into the base of this hill, which is great because there's a little bit of wind, and so we've got protection from that. So we're just going to enjoy the night, and then tomorrow we've got one last stop in town to provision before we head way out into the wilderness. We're going to do something that's going to, I think, push us all outside of our comfort zone a little bit. I'm really excited for that. But for now, we're just going to enjoy this beautiful campsite up in the mountains of Arizona. Man, it doesn't get any better than this. We are acting natural. Fond memory.
Oh my god. Finally, come enjoy our genuine enjoyment of one another.
Next fuel stop is a little over 200 miles away, so here's to hoping we have enough.
We are camped right on the edge of the Grand Canyon. This might be my new favorite campsite of all time.
Jeff got out of the truck and he is now walking the trail because he's not really pleased with how things are looking like right now. What do you think, Michelle? I hate this.